Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It has been a very long time since I've made a video, and I'm here to just update you on what's been going on just a little bit since I last made a video. And there's a lot of stuff to fill you in on, and a lot of it is personal, so I don't want to overshare, but I just want to touch on a few things that kind of fill in the gap between my last video and when I was posting more regularly my Dollar Tree hauls and some reviews to now. I had to pause my video because I started to get emotional, and so the things I'm going to share with you are quite emotional actually. I've written them down because there's just no way that I'm going to be able to talk coherently, whatever the word is. Like, I'm not going to be able to carry my complete thoughts that make sense while I'm talking about this. And so in the interest of trying to share with you what has been happening in my life since about Christmas, right before Christmas, I wrote everything down. Not everything, but I wrote down the main points. Actually, it's kind of more like a journal. So I don't know how long it's going to be. I haven't timed it or anything, but I'm going to read it to you, and hopefully you will just kind of get the gist of what's been going on from there. And so I'm just going to dive right in. And for my friends who have been watching my YouTube videos for about the last year and a half, I started around August or September of 2017. I think that's when it was. Hopefully you'll be able to stick around because I'd really love to be able to share this with you, and it'll just explain a lot. So I'm going to dive into it. And I don't have any Kleenex, but I do have this roll of bathroom tissue, so I might, if I get too emotional, I might have to use this a little bit, but here goes. So what was happening right before Christmas, around early December or so, I just was getting burned out on the Dollar Tree. It had really started to lose its appeal for me, and I would go in there. I think you remember that I was pretty addicted to it. I would go into the Dollar Tree almost every weekday. I was passing it several times a day on the way to and from taking my kids to school. Sometimes I would kill time there if my kids had an appointment or they were visiting Dad, and since I really enjoyed watching your hauls and seeing all the goodies and cutesy things that were at the Dollar Tree, I would go into the Dollar Tree to kill some time. And then I would sometimes make a video in my car or do a haul video or whatever. But I had just, by that point, I had really gotten burned out and just decided that this wasn't a good use of my time anymore, and it wasn't even a good use of my money anymore. So then I started to just really avoid the Dollar Tree, and I would come home and I would look through my stuff and my inventory and my kind of stash or whatever, things that I hadn't used yet, that I hadn't ever opened, that were just kind of in a closet and on the shelves. I started to, if they were still in new condition, I started to take them back to the Dollar Tree to exchange them for consumable items. And like soap and laundry detergent and catnip and things that I just knew would be used up in a shorter amount of time. And I just started to feel this kind of buyer's remorse pretty heavily for how much time and even money that I had spent over the last year or so at the Dollar Tree, probably the last year and a half. So again, this was December 2018. This is going on in my mind. And I started then to watch beauty videos. So here's where I'm going to start reading. I started to watch beauty videos because I just needed something new. I needed a distraction or a new kind of direction to channel some of my energy or my free time into. And so in the pursuit of taking care of my skin, because I'm 42 years old now, 42 years young, I just wanted to learn how to age more gracefully. And so I was commenting on the videos so much that I was watching these people doing healthy skin and makeup and things like that. So I was watching those and commenting so much, I decided to create a new channel that would be dedicated to beauty and you know, skincare and things like that. And I wasn't really posting a lot, but I was commenting a lot, and I just wanted to keep that kind of separate from this channel. So when I was participating in activity on beauty, makeup, and skincare videos, I really could keep it apart. From there, I got really interested in makeup tutorials, and I was learning things I should have known all these years. So I was learning concepts and practices which would have added to my confidence and my self-esteem, my skills that would likely have changed my opinion of who I was several years ago. I'm talking in college. And I didn't really know how to apply makeup. I didn't really know anything about makeup or skincare or foundation or moisturizing. I have very dry skin, and I never did anything about age defying. I never did anything about like preventing wrinkles. I never put on sunscreen daily or whatever. I just never really was taking care of my skin, and I didn't know how to apply makeup that would really help out or accentuate my own natural features. I didn't have any preferences. I just didn't put time and money or energy into it. But at this time, I can honestly say I probably was becoming addicted to watching these makeup and skincare tutorials. And so I'm not saying you have to wear makeup to feel beautiful and to like yourself in your own skin, but it definitely is something where I should have water because my throat's getting a little dry. Excuse me. It's something that definitely is very fun for me. It's very interesting to me, and I've decided that I really like it, and I wish that I had gotten into it earlier because it's something that I feel is artistic, and it's a way to not really express myself, but it's a way to kind of just cater to who I think I am and trying new things, experimenting with different colors. I wasn't a lipstick person, and now I feel like I am, and this is actually a really dark shade for me. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to doing my nails. Definitely not blue. I'm more like pinks and clear and all that kind of stuff. And so I just really decided I don't want to feel too old to be into makeup and beauty. I want to feel like I'm in the prime of my life, and I want to explore and discover new things. And there's so much that I've learned. I've learned about like how to help your wrinkles, and there's a kitty that's trying to get on my lap right now, Pumpkin. If you remember him, he's the orange yellow guy. Hi, you want to get on my lap? He's purring already. When he purrs, he drools out one side of his mouth because he's so happy. But I've learned about like having makeup brushes instead of just using little applicators and all that. And so I just come from a background of believing that I was ugly for most of my life. And this thought or this belief did not come from my family, actually. I took the belief into my mind and heart somewhere around my teenage years, especially in my early 20s. And only recently I've been able to realize that there is some reconditioning of my mind that needs to happen. So in the pursuit of this needed change in my brain, I just stayed logged into this other YouTube channel that I created, this YouTube account, for weeks at a time, watching and learning from other women about the importance of taking care of your skin and careful makeup application until I just really got out of the habit of using this KVG channel. And basically I was neglecting it. I wasn't abandoning it real consciously. I just was like, oh, I'll go to the Dollar Tree, or I'll go to Michael's, or I'll make a craft, or I'll do a review. I'll get to it when I get to it. And just more time passed, and I was really out of the habit of it. But by this time, I really should edit out those coughs, but I don't have an editing program. This is already close to 10 minutes, so if you're still with me, this is where it gets emotional. This is the part that I'm really probably going to have to read. By this time, it was already January 2019. I had begun to struggle with my lung health quite a bit. I didn't feel well enough to post videos anyway, so I just avoided trying to work on either of my channels. So now I need to backtrack just a little bit to October of 2018. My mom had been having me go and help her. I was kind of her assistant because it was two-way beneficial for us, as just an agreement we had where I'm already getting emotional. Where it helped her out and it helped me out. And so she hired me to kind of be her assistant, and I wasn't able to do a whole lot for her, but I tried to be there for her. And anyway, she decided to move to California to be with my sister, another one of my sisters. I've got a lot of sisters, and her family. So one thing, my income from that avenue was now gone, and I didn't really have a whole lot of time to look for something else. I'm pretty well set now, but at the time it was pretty sudden. But it was really nice because then my mom could go and be with that sister and get to know those grandkids and be in a place that wasn't so cold. It gets really cold here in Utah, and it also gets really hot in the summer. And we really thought that she was going there to get better and get well. And that was the goal, and we all believed in it, and we just were really rooting for our mom. So, but my mom was a stroke victim, and she never fully recovered. She was age 69, mostly confined to a recliner, and since her medical coverage didn't properly cover rehabilitation, she was really doing poorly. My family all hoped and prayed that she would recover enough to begin exercising and gain her strength and health back. But the thing is, we almost lost her at Christmas 2018. This is around the same time that I pretty much stopped posting on my channel. Well, my siblings and my dad, we actually said goodbye on a video call to our mom. She was in pain and she was begging us to say goodbye and let her go. When I got the text from my dad that my mom was trying to fade away and die, I dropped my phone and it fell to my knees. I was praying and I was crying like a little child for my mom. I never called my mom Mommy, but in that moment I felt just an immense loss and a deep ache in my heart for the woman who raised me, and I wanted my mommy. That whole day was really hard and really scary. Surprisingly and so very blessedly, God and my mom chose to rally and reverse her dying that day. That was December 26th, 2018. It was my sister's birthday. This was my sister who my mom had gone to live with in October. We were all really shocked that we still had our mom that night. We didn't want to get our hopes up though. We thought maybe she was just going to kind of improve for a little while and then really go. But we got to video chat with her again that night, and she was not in pain. It seemed like she had had 5 or 6 mini heart attacks. She said she was in a lot of pain and couldn't breathe. Her fingers and her face had turned blue and purple. But when we saw her in the video chat that night, she had all the color back to her face. She was sitting up. She was really awake. She was peeling a clementine and waiting for her dinner. But she wasn't all right. She was not. We got to see her and talk just a little by video chat on and off after that through the weeks. All January 2019 was spent with my sister working very hard at setting up therapies and treatments in California. So we had to switch the insurance and the doctors and everything from Utah to California. Each time I tried to reach my mom by text or phone call, she didn't respond. She just didn't have the energy. We prayed for her every day, every night. In the middle of February 2019 now, my sister said in a Facebook chat to us, to all of our siblings, that our mom requested to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. She had had a foreboding or just unsettling feeling a couple days leading up to that. She did not get the needed attention once she arrived at the emergency room from that ambulance trip. She waited 16 hours before getting into a room. She did get some care. The reason she went into the hospital was because the wound on her foot just wasn't healing and she wasn't able to walk. Some of you might recall that when I was posting a lot more regularly, I would say I was going to my mom's or taking something from the Dollar Tree to try something out, like to cushion my mom's foot or buy bandages or do different things to help her wound care. But from Monday to Wednesday night of February 11th to the 13th, for 3 days, the medical staff in the hospital in California where my mom was, they worked on her wound care and her lack of oxygen. Someone in the team reported, and this is from the medical reports, that my mom was experiencing kidney failure. But they did not tell us that. They focused on her oxygen. The night, okay, so Wednesday night, February 13th, this is the night before Valentine's Day, my mom had been chatting and joking with the staff. She was telling the doctors and nurses, "You're my favorite. No, you're my favorite." And just having a really good time with them, looking forward to getting out of the hospital and going home to recover. And the next morning, Thursday, she was dying. She was almost unresponsive. That's as far as I got with writing down what happened. So basically, I was really sick with the flu, and my son was too. And 2 of my sisters at that point, they decided that they would drive from Utah to California in the hopes of reaching the hospital before our mom would pass away. And they asked me if I wanted to go with them. And I was really torn because, one, I had the flu. I just wasn't feeling good at all. It's the kind of flu that you don't want to be far from your bathroom. I was exhausted. I knew I wouldn't be able to help them drive. And I already honestly felt like once I heard that she was almost unresponsive on Thursday, I felt like she was already gone. I felt like this was it and there was no way she was going to last until my sisters got there. So I chose not to go. My sisters did go. They got stuck in a snowstorm in Nevada. Had to spend the night in their car. They were helped through somebody who was a preacher from a nearby town who just had this feeling he should go in towards the Walmart, and I guess he said that the Holy Spirit had whispered to him that morning that he needed to go and help people, and he just went looking for whoever needed his help. And when he got there at 5 a.m., he saw my sister's car, and he knew that was the car he needed to help, and he didn't know why or what the story was, but long story short, he helped them get chains on their tires, and then he took them a certain distance, or showed them a certain distance to get back on their way, and they made it over the mountain pass and down into the Valley of California. They did arrive to see our mom, and they spent several hours with her, singing to her and holding her hand. We did some video calls. Our mom was still alive all through Thursday, all through Friday. And then Saturday night, February 16th, I was just surprised that she had lasted this long. But Saturday noon or 1 o'clock, something like that, 2 o'clock is when my sisters got there. So they hadn't left Utah until the afternoon on Thursday. And then they had gotten stuck Friday night and everything. So they arrived at the hospital Saturday around 1 or 2 o'clock. And I got to call my mom, and my mom and my kids and I said goodbye through the phone. Just told her that I was really proud of her. Told her I wanted her to be proud of me. And told her to go when she was ready to go and that we would be okay. And told her I was so grateful for everything she did for me. And just before midnight she did. She passed away February 16th, 2019. And if you're still here, it's now May. What is it, May 4th? May the 4th be with you. There is not a day that goes by that I don't want to pick up the phone and call my mom. When there's something great that happens, I want to call her. And when there's something confusing or frustrating or difficult, I want to call her. And it has been difficult because my lungs, they continue to get weaker. I could talk about that some other time, but basically when you're young, if you start to get asthma and you don't get the proper treatments, your lungs will remodel to the new laboring state that they become. So I have had asthma my whole life, I guess from about age 5 or 6. I never used inhalers until my late 20s. And then I only used them sparingly. I never used a preventative inhaler. I never took supplements or anything like that. I never really exercised a ton to where I really took care of my lungs and my heart and things like that. I'm on a steroid inhaler now. It's for prevention or for maintenance. And then I have a rescue inhaler. So there have just been times where I wanted to talk to my mom. And every time we have a triumph, I want to call her and I want to talk to her. And really, really thought that when she went to California, she was going there temporarily to enjoy my sister and those kids, her grandkids, my sister's kids that live there, to work on getting healthy so she could come back to Utah and be with us. And we had even talked about her actually merging households and moving in with me and my boys. I really didn't think that when she went into the hospital that she would not be coming out. So we did a memorial service in March, and then my mom would have turned 70 on March 31st. I'm sorry, I sound stuffy now. But my son, my older son, he's a cute redhead. He was on the waiting list for months at a time, for several months. He was on the waiting list of several treatment programs and therapies, where finally he got in as a client. And so now he's going to be doing the high functioning, what is it called? Autism Behavior Therapy, or ABA. And so he just started that this week. We have a lot of appointments. We have a lot of things that are taking our time. Meanwhile, to de-stress and unwind and have a distraction, plus feed that interest that I have in makeup, I decided that I would start going to CVS a lot, because it's not it's really easy to shop at. It's really small. It's never crowded. They have some good deals. And so instead of going to the Dollar Tree all the time, I've been going to CVS when I have a little bit of extra cash here or there. And for example, this makeup palette, this butter eyeshadow palette that was released from Physicians Formula a couple months back, this retails for about $17.99, and I was able to purchase it for, I think it was $3, just with the coupons and the extra bucks at CVS. So that actually became like a sort of a little challenge for me to see how well I could do on a deal at CVS, and that was how I was spending my sort of retail therapy time. So just those two major things, I just didn't really feel like I wanted to be making videos, but at the same time my interests changed. And when I would log back in here, I was like, oh man, I want to watch people's videos. I want to watch Diva Den. I want to watch Ashley Gray. I want to watch Miss C Atlanta. I want to see what Vivacious V is up to. I want to see what you guys are up to. And Maricela, I don't know how to say your name, Maricela, and Sammy's Deals, Mary Christopherson. There's so many of you that I wanted to check on, and I just didn't feel like I could talk without, I don't know, I just didn't know what to say or what to share or what not to say. I just felt like this is something that I need to take my time on. And I guess I've said everything I want to say for now on it, but I'm just really not that interested in shopping at the Dollar Tree lately, because I feel like while you could get so much bang for your buck at the Dollar Tree, and there's so much stuff, it's all mostly it's cute stuff that just kind of calls to me. Oh, get this thing for your house because it's cute. Buy this notebook, buy this thing. And as I look around the room, I can see so many things that came from the Dollar Tree. I see cute scissors and makeup brushes and hair tool, like, you know, hair things and makeup and little figurines and journals and cute little vases and all kinds of interesting and useful things. But that was taking up too much of my time and too much of my spending cash. And I just really needed something else. So I am a lot more interested in makeup. It's just a lot more interesting to me right now. That doesn't mean that I don't want to watch your videos or that I'm not still interested in the Dollar Tree as far as what it has to offer. But for me, I just feel like I don't want to really be going there very much anymore. Now, I do actually go there a few times each month, but I am only buying consumables now. Or I'm still finding things that I haven't been opened, like I have a whole pile of these craft boxes, a whole pile of them. And they still have the sticker on and they're still perfect. And so I could take a whole pile of those in and get a bunch of snacks for my kids, or I could get Kleenex or toilet paper or, you know, some kind of cleaning supplies. And so that's kind of what I'm working on, is getting stuff and clutter out of my house and getting things that can be used up. I think I was staring at the minutes rather than looking where I should be looking in the camera. I'm sorry. So that's my focus, is simplifying my life. I'm not going Marie Kondo right now. I am just trying to not bring things into my life or into my house that really don't have a purpose and can't be used up. Everything had a purpose, obviously, because if you buy a cute journal, you have a purpose for it. You're either going to use it or you're going to look at it and think, I should use that, and just feel like, wow, that was an awesome find, this cute journal that I can use or gift. But I just had way too much of that. And so I don't know exactly what I'll do with this channel. I would like to start up again doing reviews. I would like to do some lifestyle, some vlogs. And then maybe talk about health and things like that, but I just don't really see myself doing a lot of hauls anymore. And if you're still with me, I'm just not going to edit this video. I don't have any place I'd want to cut anything out. I just wanted to share with you what was going on. So maybe you didn't have time to watch, but maybe while you're washing your dishes or something, if you listen to my story, you would get the whole point of just what I've been trying to say. And I will see you again. I do plan on posting again, but right now I'm just not ready to, because I'm trying to get into the new routine of the behavior treatment therapy, whatever, that my son is doing. And then I'm also doing therapy for myself. I'm doing talk therapy and PTSD therapy, and it's going really well so far. I found a really good fit for that. And I do feel that it's helping, it's benefiting my life, it's blessing us. So I just miss you guys, and I really do hope that I can see you more and that we can talk more. And thanks so much for coming by. Thanks so much for listening. And I don't know, I guess I'll just talk to you hopefully sooner or later. Take care. Bye.